Actually,
a takedown that wins it.
Yeah, all these wins for West Virginia have been bonus point wins. There's been 3 technical falls and a regular fall, and now we're up with Peyton Hall at 165.
The All-American Peyton Hall, pride of Oakland High School in Chester, West Virginia. Wrestling in front of the home crowd for the first time this season, as are the Mountaineers today. Opponent is Aaron Ferguson, the junior from Steubenville, Ohio. You have to think these two might have seen each other before.
It's highly possible.
Might not be bonding over to Carlos or...
Probably not.
What other Northern Panhandle, Upper Ohio Valley things can I work on? They didn't... Not exactly sharing a Coleman's fish sandwich at the Center Market, or
there you go.
Same box of Sarah's pretzels.
Oh, nice job of getting in on the single. Just kind of drop down and trying to sit him if you can.
Hall not quite able to sweep the leg yet. The leg is popping up from Ferguson.
Well, you see, Ferguson tried to get his shoulder underneath Hall's chin, see if he could pry him up off of his leg. He wasn't able to do that. Hall trying to be a little bit careful in the finish. There we go.
There it is. Takes the leg. 3 for Peyton Hall.
That's really going to take a lot of getting used to. The 3 thing. That's you say it, and I'm like, yes, it is, but that sounds weird. It just does.
Hey, wait till we get Bill Nevin to come out here and do a public address. For 3.
Well, that he's used to saying because he does it for the basketball games.
Right, right. So Hall with a lead in the first period against Aaron Ferguson. Cuts Ferguson loose.
You know, and I know Peyton Hall obviously last year did not end the season the way he wanted to.
No.
Didn't have the tournament that he wanted to. Wasn't wrestling. I mean, you're going to get beat up as the year goes on, and that's part of it, right?
And that started really over the last month of the season before things went to tournament time.
You know, and he started to rely a lot on countering that single leg with sort of getting his leg all loose and limp like that. And I don't know how he has any ligaments in his knees the way he does that.
He was 6th in 2022.
So the new year and
another chance to get back on the podium.
Right. Now the challenge is when you've been around for a little while, people have some familiarity with who you are. You're not going to sneak up on anybody.
Well, you mentioned Justin Verlander in baseball earlier. It's the same thing. You've been a pitcher for a while. You got to find new ways to get people out.
Right.
And you're Peyton Hall. It's the same problem. You got to find new ways to take people down and defend other attacks. And right now, he's going to take a 3-1 lead into the second period against Aaron Ferguson. So, you love both wrestling and gymnastics? Well, this popular winter promotional event is for you. Beauty and the Beast returns to the Coliseum. Enjoy wrestling and gymnastics at the same time. Both meets happening simultaneously. Mountaineer wrestlers taking on Glenville State. The gymnastics squad takes on Denver and Iowa State. It all happens Sunday, February 12th, just in time for Valentine's Day. Sunday, February 18th, excuse me, from the WVU Coliseum. It's a tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme. Beauty and the Beast.
You worked really hard for that. I don't know whether to be impressed or not.
I'm not sure our wrestling crowd would really appreciate how much Beauty and the Beast I can drop here for people. So I'll move past.
Nice job with a little bit of an underhook and sort of an underhook drag. He does a nice job of catching the foot as it goes by and gets himself another takedown.
Meanwhile, the Thundering Herd have tied the match in Huntington, so it's 2-all. Still the first period. A lot of scoring there. A lot of scoring here at the Coliseum. 6-2, Peyton Hall out in front. West Virginia leads the duel 21-3. As Tony said a moment ago, all major point or bonus point wins. A pin in 3 major decisions for the Mountaineers. Meanwhile, Peyton Hall trying to summon the strength of Gaston from Beauty and the Beast.
You're riding that one pretty good, huh?
We got 6 hours of this, Tony.
I know. That's what scares me.
We got 6 hours.
That's what scares me right now, Eric. That's
of
really
television today, Tony.
Yes, oh my goodness.
But you're right. The way Hall finished last year, I think was probably not the way he'd like to finish, and you have to wonder if he was feeling his healthiest. And I think we're seeing a more lively, healthier version of Peyton Hall today than what we saw at the end of last year.
Well, no doubt about that. I would hope that's true of everybody. If you're banged up now, you're in a lot of trouble because it's a long year, and you're feeling about as good as you are going to feel for the most part. But no, and I think a lot of times you get a little bit not in a. There was a warning for stalling. It's not really a slump so much, but you develop patterns, or people get used to doing certain things, and
right.
Oh, ran out of time.
He ran out of time.
There's just a little snap by and drag, catches the far leg, and as he comes through, and Ferguson had no real answer for that one.
Hall on the bottom to start. Again, if you're just joining us, West Virginia, the Navy singlets, the gray for Kent State. Ferguson lifts and drops Hall. Hall reverses that and gets the 2 for the reversal.
You know, and the other thing that probably doesn't help with Peyton Hall too is, and because these guys are both in his weight class not only, but obviously in his league, is when you're Keegan O'Toole and David Carr. These are literally the two of the best guys in the country, and so you're trying to gain ground on those two guys, and sometimes I think if you're not careful, you lose track of potentially being disappointed that you're not beating those guys necessarily, and you forget that, you know, to beat them, that you're really going to have to be at the top of your game in that particular match, and therefore you can get a little bummed out, you know, if you're not careful. But the next person who you're wrestling doesn't care about that.
Right.
Right.
They just want to beat you on that day.
Right.
Nice to have that 30,000-foot view every once in a while. We take a 30,000-foot view and see there's 2 matches going on. The adjacent match with Cleveland State and Duke. You'll see those 2 schools wrestle West Virginia here, if you stick with us throughout the day at least.
That was not a great shot by Hall, but he does a good job of getting himself to the. Try to pull that leg in and get a 2-point takedown. Now
it's the 3 there on the takedown, Ferguson.
You're right, a 3-point takedown. Jeez, I just said that 2-point takedown. It's probably not going to be the last time I do that.
You're like the guy who's you're signing your check at the beginning of the year, and it's like January 4th, and you're writing the previous year.
Yeah.
It's a habit for all of us.
He's hurting a little bit. I don't know if he got whacked on the way on that shot.
You mentioned the blood, sweat, and the tears early on, and I think we see at least one of those fluids on the mat. So
there's the blood part.
They will attend to that for Aaron Ferguson. As we take a look back in Huntington, it's 2-all in the Sun Belt Championship between number 1 Marshall and number 5 West Virginia in the 41st minute. So time running out in the first half. It's been a lively first half between the Thundering Herd and the Mountaineers, playing each other for the 3rd time this season, by the way. Each of those schools won on their respective home pitches the first 2 times.
I think it's pretty cool to have 2 teams in the state of West Virginia being ranked in the top 5 in the country.
Fantastic.
Right? I mean,
it's fantastic.
That's pretty cool.
West Virginia,
nice
soccer hotbed. And now Peyton Hall wants to make it a wrestling hotbed too. He's got more points on Aaron Ferguson. Lead grows to 9.
This match just flew by. I mean, literally, I can't believe it.
Unless you're Aaron Ferguson.
Well, yeah, he's probably. But I mean, geez, even with the break for the nosebleed.
Solid win for Peyton Hall in his Coliseum debut for 2023. Hall goes to 73-19 all-time in a West Virginia singlet as Peyton Hall takes the win over Aaron Ferguson. The lead grows for West Virginia from the WVU Coliseum on ESPN+.